Welcome on back to our last game of the night. It's going to be the second game between Alliance and Team Empire. Now, Alliance have just secured the fact that they stay in the Dota 2 Champions League a little while longer. They're currently tied up with Power Rangers? Two different teams. Power Rangers and Ninjas in Pajamas. They're currently tied up if they lose this game, which is fine. They'll go into a tiebreaker. 3 different teams, 2 slots. Pretty good chance to get in, right? But if they manage to beat Empire here in this second game, they actually tie up with Empire for that third place position and get a guaranteed move on into the playoffs. So let's get into our second game of Alliance versus Team Empire. Welcome in my co-caster Blaze. Ooh. All right, we definitely got some interesting things to talk about in the draft. Blaze, what do you think?
I think we're going to see a Trina pick pretty quickly here, and that means that Team Empire better be bringing their A game.
Certainly.
Because otherwise it's going to go long. It is going to go long if they cannot address the sniper and Trina early on. They're thinking about it, though. Alliance, they obviously don't consider this an auto pickup, but it's got to be a very, I would say defensive support is usually what you pair with the sniper here. If you're looking to stretch the game, you go with a Vengeful Spirit to help pull him back when he gets jumped on. You go for a Tree and Protector, keep everything alive, heal the buildings, keep turtling. And in this case, they go for Skywrath, so maybe we have some hope for some real offensive potential. I mean, Sniper does put out quite a bit of magic damage, so if the Sky can get a good concussive and Ancient Seal out, that's just going to help the Sniper get the kills all the more, and we could see some good rotations heading out towards that mid lane.
You know, it's funny, I agree with you, too. I like completely expected to see Train Protector or a Vengeful Spirit, or even something like a Bat Rider, you know, at least like that actually has really good kill potential with a sniper, so you could see the combination there. Skywrath Mage, I mean, I guess it's just a really highly valued support. I mean, Ake was one of the first ones who was like, Skywrath Mage is going to be like one of the supports. I remember actually having that interview with him at DreamHack Summer, and he was completely right. Skywrath Mage rapidly rose in popularity shortly thereafter, and has pretty much been consistently picked up ever since. Not to take away from Matt's drafting, because his drafting heavily won game number 1 with the laning phase decisions that they made, all incredibly intelligent, but just very odd not seeing that defensive support picked up in the first 1-2. And of course, Team Empire, since they have the opportunity, they will ban away that Train Protector.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so just take out the Avenge as well in my mind. I mean, obviously there are other supports like Earthshaker that'll be very valuable in this kind of position. In fact, the Earthshaker might be even more valuable than the Avenge. It's hard to say, but you know the case, take out one of those two. You open up the potential to kill off the sniper, and that's the Batman's plan all along. So Night Stalker Troll, pretty awesome in the fact that Night Stalker gets an insane amount of attack speed from his just Hunter of the Night plus Battle Trance. He's able to get something like a mid-game Basher or Maelstrom to dish out damage and disable, while still mostly focusing on the Aghanim Scepter as the whole thing for his kit. Like, he walks around with Aghanims, a Geometry Sight, and a BKB, and he's able to just give you complete map dominance. So that's a really big deal and a very beneficial aspect of the Night Stalker. And the two options here is they could go for the off lane or the kind of 4-position Night Stalker. Which do you favor in this kind of position?
I kind of prefer the offlane Night Stalker when you're running a sniper, because if you're able to get just like 2, hopefully 3 levels by the first nighttime, and 3 levels I think is ideal. You're not going to get much more of that by minute 4, right? But if you can get level 3, hopefully, you can actually rotate into that middle lane and try and help shut down the sniper, which I think is one of the few things that Night Stalker can do that most other offlaners cannot. Right, because especially if you go like 2nd level and Void, really powerful nuke, you get that 1 level of the movement speed increase from Hunter in the Night, and you're actually a pretty quick little cookie, able to get on top of the sniper in that middle lane, help shut him down nice and early. The only other supports that can really do that to the same kind of level would be like the Spirit Breaker offlane.
Time.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely is a good comparison there. They could still kind of go that kind of mentality where he's just that active, but right now they're just emphasizing vision. Night Stalker Zeus at nighttime, at daytime, like they're gonna find windows of opportunity where they have a tremendous vision advantage against Alliance. They are gonna have Thunder God's Wrath. They're gonna use Lightning Bolt to deward. They can scout things out when they think that a rush is happening. They can pop the darkness, limit the vision of Alliance directly, and then of course have that nighttime 1800 clear or not clear vision necessarily, but Aghanim Scepter will upgrade it to that
10
degree. So
seconds
throughout this
remaining.
game, Empire is going to have the vision advantage. The question is
Team
what they do
Empire's
with it.
turn
Are
to
they going to be
pick.
able to find more gank opportunities? Are they going to be able to farm up more aggressively with like the Troll Warlord and another core? I mean, it's really hard to say. Right now, I would have to say the Zeus is probably mid, but I mean that's only because I just like that Zeus can farm at the top of his steps without actually having to commit into the river against the sniper, because that's shrapnel territory and that's where you get killed.
Yeah. Just to back up the
10
Night
seconds
Stalker, you know,
remaining.
I thought about it and I was like, you know, why didn't we see, and then it kind of clicked to me. I
5
was like,
seconds
well, we never really
remaining.
saw Night Stalker being run by Empire at MLG Columbus, but of course that's a Yoki hero, and I'm not sure if Funnick is actually
Reserve
comfortable.
time.
I don't think I've ever seen him run the Night Stalker off lane. But with Yoki obviously playing with Team Empire here in this online match, of course this really feels like the offlane Night Stalker, though. Zeus, mid Zeus, safe lane troll, revealing all your cores early is
True.
kind of odd, but we'll see. Team Empire, they ban or they pick
Alliance's
up the
turn to
disruptor,
pick.
while Alliance grab the clockwork for themselves as a jumping hero against the Zeus.
Yeah, I mean, one aspect of the draft is if you look at the bans, there aren't that many bans on high value supports. There's the Dazzle and the Tree both taken out, and those aren't really necessary to
Team
any
Empire's
synergy
turn
or
to
counter
ban.
synergy strategy from Empire. So they could still leave these two supports open. They'll still be as potent, essentially. I mean, they can still go for Venge. For crying out loud, Venge and Lion is still in the pool. Like that's as much as you want for bread and butter support. So I don't
Yeah.
really feel their
10
options are limited by
seconds
going fourth and
remaining.
fifth. There is more counterpick potential for Alliance since they obviously know exactly what they're up
Alliance's
against.
turn to
But
ban.
even still, I think that Empire won't be limited in terms of what they go for. They get to glimpse back the clockwork here. They might be able to I mean, actually, I think that's really the only thing that they get is really the strength of the glimpse against either a Blink Slardar or a Clockwork. Or if they're winning a fight, they
10
get more
seconds
pursuit potential
remaining.
because you're going to have that vision. You're going to see the target. You're going to be able to glimpse them back. So
5
I
seconds
see them being able to
remaining.
pursue fights. But in terms of reacting defensively, I still think they're a little bit weak. So maybe picking
Reserve
up another
time.
support along those lines. I mean, sometimes I like to see global strats come out with the Zeus, but in this case, I think that maybe just kind of focus on the lanes, focus on things that are happening in close proximity, and then just use your mobility to make it more global.
Yeah, I kind of
Team
want to see.
Empire's
Actually, what
turn
I
to
think would be
pick.
really nice here is the Loha Dance Earthshaker, right? That would be able to set the initial Fisher block for the offlane Night Stalker to be able to get those early levels we're talking about. It's a nice roaming hero for. Okay, never mind. They're actually going to run the
Alliance's
Spirit
turn
Breaker
to
here.
pick.
So, 4-position Spirit Breaker or 4-position Night Stalker?
That seems to be the question. I mean, I'm pretty certain about the Zeus mid. So
Yeah.
in this sense, I like both of them because again they have the battle trance. Spirit Breaker really scary once he's helped out with that battle trance, and honestly, he doesn't have too many issues charging into these heroes. Like the crush is actually really hard to hit
10
on the
seconds
Spirit Breaker to
remaining.
stop a charge with because the greater bash, and then you can charge through the cogs
5
too. So
seconds remaining.
like I actually feel like Spirit Breaker is just going to be insane this game, no matter if Alliance pick a counter for their last. I mean, they'll
Reserve
probably
time.
just go for something simple like a lion, and that'll be fine. But I actually really like this Spirit Breaker here, no matter what role he's in.
They could do some sort of weird hybrid as
10
well.
seconds remaining.
What was it that I saw? Alliance gonna run the Omni Knight. Team Empire, of course, banned away the Vengeful Spirit, which was a very obvious ban. A lot of synergy with the Alliance team. Plus, it was actually this is almost the exact lineup that Alliance ran against Team Empire the last time they faced up against each other in Dota Pit, where they actually ran this exact same lineup up against Team Empire's Troll and Storm Spirit combination, and it was all of this plus the Vengeful Spirit instead of the Omni Knight. So Team Empire banned that one away. We are going to be seeing the off-lane Spirit Breaker, 4-position Aloha Dance Night Stalker, mid Zeus, while Alliance are going to be running a support Omni Knight. Now, does the support Omni Knight run with the Clockwork to start with?
Definitely could. I like the idea of
10
him actually getting
seconds
some offlane
remaining.
potential there. They're up against a tri-lane of a Troll
5
Warlord, a Night
seconds
Stalker,
remaining.
Disruptor. Level 1 is not scary. Level 2, Level 3, it gets more dicey, but early on, I think Omni Knight brings a lot of value just getting the Ahsoka of experience that he's not going to find up on the top lane. And then later, like as he gets his second level, then he suddenly has twice the survivability potential with both Repel and Purification. So I like the idea of actually going off lane on the not early on. Funky Mad does it generally on his supports anyway. So like we saw in Game 1, and since we've seen in Alliance in general. So that's what we're looking at here. And then obviously as they transition in towards the mid game, we've seen time and time again the strength of the Slardars amplify damage with the sniper. And they're just going to try to set up a focus target with Nikwa's hook shot, get amp on him, and blow that target away.
Nikwa going to try and sneak in the early ward. Pycat is actually helping back them up. If Nikwa managed to get a sneaky set of cogs somewhere on Aloha Dance, might have been an early kill, but unlikely. Pycat and Mad just kind of making sure that Nikwa does get down the ward. It's going to be placed, not blocking out the camp, but it is a nice aggressive ward that sees some of the Empire rotations. Meanwhile, Yoki is playing very far forward. He actually went for an early ward as well. Another ward that's...
Is he going to try to snipe the courier? When you get a bounty rune on a mid hero, you usually go for tangos very early. Is he just going to sit here and wait for the opportunity?
Yeah, maybe. He's actually charging. They're going to go for the fight here in this bottom lane. Mad is not going to expect this one. Stunned up. What a beautiful set of cogs, though, from Nikwa. And it looks like Mad will be able to get out just ahead. The right click is not enough, and they will get out. So they get the bounty rune at bottom lane, but unfortunately, Yoki's rotation, that surprise hit, is kind of counteracted by the very good place of the cogs right up that ramp. So no early first blood just yet. Nikwa either going to fight some of these heroes as they back themselves up. Resolution, the standard Skywrath Mage, Ake, sitting in middle lane, zoning out that mid hero in order to make sure it misses a couple of CS.
Question, did you see Magicka's starting items? He's actually going Orb of Venom first on Omni Knight. So he intends to just duel constantly in that duel lane.
Weird, but okay.
Yeah. No, it's actually really, really good. Like, you just get 1 point in Degen Aura at level 2 or level 3, and you're just able to, like, stay on top of somebody. It's kind of like going in on the Ogre Magi. There's a little bit more risk involved in it. He doesn't have a Stout Shield or anything, so he has to worry about the creep wave. But essentially, if you can get close to this person, you just bully them back, and they have to run, because otherwise the Clockwork's going to be there, too. Like, their level 2 fight potential is actually really strong, and it's going to force the Night Stalker to kind of help out bottom lane a lot more.
Do you think it's going to be enough, though, versus a troll? I mean, a troll's kind of scary.
Actually, top? Okay, no. Yeah, I mean, I guess the troll, like, he's got the distance, right? Like, the Berserker's Rage, it puts him in melee, but he only uses that for fighting. He doesn't have to use that necessarily for last hitting. So, yeah, I kind of feel like it's going to be requiring a little bit more of either silent misstepping or just them going deeper than they probably want to. Like, they'll commit, and then they'll realize they're up against 3 heroes and halfway across the lane. It's just, it's really difficult to commit to that kind of position. I think it's good to put pressure on the lane and force that Night Stalker away from top, because that's where Aloha Dance wants to be right now. But I also think that there is plenty of risk involved.
Ake's clarity is removed by Aloha Dance's peculiar rotation. Does manage to get the Void off. Will not be able to stop this DD, though, being picked up by Pycat. Unfortunate, but it looks like they are going to kind of run that dual lane that we talked about. So these two heroes trying to share the experience, essentially, because if they leave one of them in lane, they're just going to be zoned out constantly by the Skywrath Mage. 2 of them will actually allow them to get the full experience, even if they are sharing. So a very smart decision. Alliance, meanwhile, in the bottom lane. Similar situation with the Clockwork and Omni Knight together. Neither one of them is going to be zoned out entirely by the Disruptor. So that just kind of leaves, if both of the dual lanes are kind of in the same scenario, that just leaves our middle lane, which is going to be the Zeus facing up against the Sniper. And, I mean, this is usually just a farming matchup. Unlikely that we see an early kill, but Sniper is getting the early advantage in CS.
So now we see Funky Man does have a level 2, and he goes for deploying Degen Aura. So what he can do is kind of sneak around the side shop, try to kind of surprise attack from an eastern flank. And if he can get in range for 1 hit, they should be able to find a kill. If they're not, that person isn't under the tower at that point in time. Just Clockwork glues to somebody really well. The Omni Knight, he has so much slow. I actually love Orb of Venom Omni Knight like in a core set, like on a go like a solo lane for Omni. I know it's not your traditional lane, but oh, Nikwa! Oh, there's gonna be a nice glimpse. Okay, so I always want to fly one for glimpse very early. It's actually the only skill he has right now. But yeah, like look at Mad right now. Like he's actually looking to maybe commit against Silent. He's gonna get the heal bomb, but now it's first blood. So this is the drawback. Is essentially if you can't survive the enemy's damage, then you're just screwed and you're committing to a fight you can't handle. It's only if he has the clock with him that this is actually a good progression.
Yeah, I can't help but wondering, what if you had boots instead of the Orb of Venom? You know, which, well, either way. Seems like Mad's early Orb of Venom isn't working out for him just yet, but we'll see as the lane progresses. I'm just very surprised that Alliance were willing to contest a troll like that. He's got phase boots now, so it's going to be damn near impossible. Top lane, Aloha Dance, it is nighttime, so they're trying to get a little jiggy with it, but Ake is hiding underneath the tower and should be fine. So Resolution actually going to find a haste rune. This is a potential upset here, especially up against the squishy sniper. He could get, oh, he actually doesn't have level 3 of Lightning Bolt. He went for the extra level in Arc Lightning, which we see a lot lately.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good for getting guaranteed last hits, and he's obviously doing decently with 18-1, but he's still not really at the point that you want him to be, so he's going to have to stick to the lane for quite some time. No roaming with level 6 or anything, and he'll get his Soul Ring out to just keep that mana flowing. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not actually sure that the Clockwork and Omninet will be able to do anything until Nikwa hits 6. Like, I love the idea of boots or Venom Omni Knight. I've done it too many times, and people flame it too hard. But in this case, you're right. The Troll Warrior is just going to be able to keep his distance. The phase boots ensures that, and now it kind of feels like Amaska doesn't have anything to do in this game. Like he's just going to be hit for a walk away, actually get glimpse back, nice cogs, and he'll heal bomb himself. But it's not really. It's just distracting Silent. It's not actually like turning on him.
Oh, they couldn't get off the heal. Matt's gonna die as well. Oh, the Zeus ultimate Resolution pops that at the perfect time. I mean, it's a pretty simple play, but it really does make the difference there in that bottom lane where the heal couldn't go out in time. The hero gets bursted down, and a huge difference, right? If that heal goes off, Clockwork survives a bit longer, gets more battery assault damage, plus the nuke hits Silent. That is actually a very different fight. Nikwa going to be sent back or not? Always want to fly, couldn't actually get off the glimpse in time for whatever reason.
Oh, it's on cooldown. It's on cooldown.
Oh, okay.
It's a really long cooldown, level 1 actually. 60
Yeah,
seconds. True. It's the most ridiculous thing. But
yeah, I forgot he used it. Charge into the middle lane, but both Matt and Ake are sitting behind that sniper waiting for the charge. And it will not be completed. Top rune. Yoki's going to have to take that bounty rune. And Resolution's going to be a bit sad not having that free fill up. Aloha Dance coming in with the invisibility around Nikwa. He does not have the silence, but with the slow, and it should be good enough to get another kill. Nikwa just cogs and does what damage he can, but at the end of the day, he will feed away another kill to Silent.
End of the day, they really just can't fight Empire right now. They looked for that, and if they had gotten like like you were talking about before with the kind of position that the Aloha Dance went to the bottom lane when the ward was placed out, if they had gotten a first blood then, this is the build on the Omni that could like continue that momentum. And Clockwork and Omni could dominate the bottom lane, dominate the jungle. But without any kills, it's actually just a really greedy, really over-aggressive play that in the end costs them the ability to move on the map a little bit. Like, fucking Med's gonna have mana issues, he's not gonna have a TP scroll for a while. It's just like, essentially, they have to play purely defensively now, and obviously, Empire are in a place where they want to be.
Yep, 4-0, 7 minutes in. They've got a rather large lead. Nikwa trying to make sure that he does get this CS. Aloha Dance got a big close and kind of scared out that battery assault.
Have you seen Tranquil Boots on Support Night Stalker? It makes sense to some extent, but it's just something I've never actually seen.
I think I have seen this once, because I remember talking about how you're doing so much roaming around that it actually proves to be pretty powerful, right? You're so fast. You're so very fast during nighttime. When you get like level 2 or 3 of Hunter in the Night, and you've got Tranquil Boots active, you actually go near max movement speed. So it actually just increases that rotational power. But yeah, it definitely is unique. We don't see that very often.
I don't hate it at all. I think it's actually probably pretty good. It's just, oh, Disruptor, he wants him. He gets the amp, but there's a glimpse.
Oh, missed stun there. Pycat could have actually followed that up, but now it's going to be Pycat in trouble. Yoki pushes them back, always want to fly. Still, though, the bash on Pycat keeps always want to fly alive for the time being. The shrapnel will finish him off. And now the nuke actually takes down the sniper. Resolution comes in with that haste rune, wants to go for more with the lightning bolt, but it's actually going to go for Loda instead. They have the charge in. Loda gets bumped back. The heal purification will keep him alive for the time being, but the Omni Knight goes down. Resolution continuing to heal up, has Arcane's boots, and that is almost a triple kill. The last hit goes to Yoki there on Loda instead, but a 3-for-1 exchange, all due to the haste rune pickup by Resolution in that bottom lane.
Man, that Zeus play was just impeccable. Just focusing the exact target he needed to at the right time, coming in with the haste rune. Obviously, a little bit luck getting 2 haste runes this game already, but it's still, like, I mean, him just using his mana expertly, getting the kills exactly where he needed to. It was just actually really brilliant. Now it's actually going to be a Aloha Dance that's under some pressure. Just the assassinate after the rocket flare, and they did the math.
Yeah, that was pretty greedy of our Night Stalker to stick around like that. He's like, but I have Tranquil Boots. No, that's not good enough. Silent, rotating around. He actually wants to go for this Nikwa. Does have Battery Assault as well as Cogs. It's a little bit dangerous. Loda is going to try and set up that Amplify damage onto Silent so Pycat can finish him off, but at the same time, Resolution has come in, chase back Pycat. They get the free kill on the Clockwork. Assassinate, not quite good enough. Loda, they don't actually have, well, actually Kinetic Fields is good enough to hold Loda in. So Ice Want to Fly just chasing him back farther away. Pycat is just ahead of Aloha Dance's Void. So at the end of the day, they trade off what? They kill the Night Stalker, but lose the Clockwork. The Troll having to go back, I suppose, is a bit of an advantage for Alliance as well, but nothing too major.
Yeah, I think anything for Alliance right now. Getting kills on the board is really important for them. They need a little bit of momentum here. Omnic gets a solo lane during that time period. They do get some kill action on the sniper, so he can go for his Sange very early. And people will kind of scoff at this pickup, but he wants to go S&Y later, and he needs HP now. So it's actually going to be helping, just allowing him to get enough survivability to run away. And then when Empire starts retreating, that's when he starts throwing pot shots at him. Madska's going to have a lot more time with this HP buffer to get those heals out and turn the fights.
Invisibility picked up by Loda. He's looking for a pickoff here, and Always Want to Fly would be an easy kill. But, you know, you would much rather have something bigger. I like the tunnel that Silent has built himself to be able to farm up the medium. And hard camp. The smoke is popped. Silent's run into. Stunned up. Amplify damage is there, but Silent may actually live. He's got Whirling Axes up in 2 seconds. Is that going to be enough for him? The nukes come out. Hook shot to be able to stop him. And Silent ends up falling. But they're very much behind enemy lines. Ake almost getting bursted. Yoki will help out with that. Last little Arc Lightning to finish him off. Nikwa also going to die. Or maybe not. The Purification goes out. Matt is instead the one that's going to die. Nikwa's stuck inside the corner. Lightning Bolt to finish him off. Triple kill so far for Resolution. The extra bit of damage on Loda. Assassinate Aloha Dance, who was actually running away from Pycat earlier, but Empire don't care. They say, see you later, buddy. We're just going to keep on going. Loda pulled back with a glimpse. He's going to try and hit the stun, but Empire, beautiful split there, managed to get the extra kill. 4 kills, all for that Silent. We're not even going to include the Night Stalker because that was just a free pickoff for the Sniper. That was actually all about the very aggressive smoke gank that they went in for. Yoki, do you really want to do this? What? Why? Okay. All right. That was weird. But I suppose there's no stuns on Alliance.
Not really. I mean, that was an issue, definitely, as far as like how to respond to this. I was talking about in the draft, like Slider's Crush is really bad at dealing with charge, and obviously the Skywrath doesn't have a response. So the end result is they really just can't stop TPs, they can't stop charges. It's really difficult. But that last fight was, of course, about how far and how deep Alliance committed for that kill. But most importantly,
Hook shot gonna grab Resolution, the Mystic Flare on top, and they will get that kill. Hey, Rocket
I was just
Flare.
about to say, it's the fights are all about what the Zeus can do when he's not under any pressure at all. Like, Resolution has just been able to just throw out every single spell constantly. He's got his Arc Lightning maxed out, so he's doing a ton of damage just by sitting there and just casting and casting and casting. And it's worked out really well for them until this point. But now, the 6-0-4 Zeus does witness mortality, and that's going to be a lot of gold going the way of the Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, 1,500 gold and experience swing just with that one pickoff. So the Skywrath Mage and Clockwork's super happy with that kill. Get a big jump up in experience, that's for sure. Someone like Ake, definitely needs that. The charge up to top lane. They're actually going for the kill on Loda, silencing him up. The charge completes. Yoki's got the ultimates, and it may not even be necessary. The stun goes out, but it's actually Zeus who pops the ultimate there in order to get that kill. He doesn't have the Bloodstone yet because he died in the top lane. So pretty unfortunate for him, but he is going for the Bloodstone, which will play a much bigger pact in being able to chaos with that ultimate because you get free charges out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you still get your share of the experience there based on their hero level. You still get that, and that's all well and good. But otherwise, yeah, it's just also scouting to make sure that Alliance can't counter-initiate on their commitment up top. So they get intel, they get experience on the Zeus, and of course, kill secured. So yeah, in this position, it's now going to be down bottom that Mad is trying to farm, but it looks like this is too far forward for him. Like, if he stays here for even 5-6 more seconds, they're just going to be able to bring him down, but ETB's up top, and Yoki just finds his position in the mid lane.
Spirit Breaker is actually hilarious. I just watched him charge through the Ancient stack, and he just, like, bumps the Lizard around. The Lizard just, like, does that weird little wobbly animation. You know, where he's kind of floundering after that bump. Who else could do that but Spirit Breaker? Charge up to the top lane, load up Void, and no Silent to follow it up. This time around, they will have to use their ultimate, but with the Repel out, Loda may actually survive. In fact, Empire just going to quit now while they're only a little behind. They do have the melee form on Silent to try and stay ahead of Loda. The stun doesn't land. Now the burst damage turnaround. Oh, not quite enough. Arc Lightning goes out. Loda still keeping alive. Man is going to be able to give him the Repel to keep him alive. Oh, the global ultimate goes out. It doesn't actually finish off Loda because he had the Repel up, nor does it get Nikwa. Whoa, what's going over here? Always want to fly, actually catches Mad. Glimpse back, Loda gonna be caught here. He could not get out, and Mad may also die here. The silence goes down, preventing Aloha Dance from diving in much deeper, but Yoki is going to keep on going. Meanwhile, Silent actually traps the Clockwork behind the Tier 1 tower, but it's Ake fighting up against Yoki that we're going to watch. The right clicks are enough to get the kill. And they find another one, 18-5. And Empire should now be able to take, well, maybe they can't. That Tier 1 tower, they're all low HP, plus the creep wave is pushed out, so they still at least get 4 for nothing?
Yeah, essentially, I mean, they were kind of falling back at one point because the Slaughter is offensive, but as soon as that Repel wore off, they weren't losing anything. They just turn it, burst him down. Thanks for the sprint that gives you a 15% additional damage, and yeah, it's just they start turning that fight off of that. The biggest issue Alliance is facing is they still just don't have any way of canceling that charge. They need to get a Yule Scepter or something on somebody, because otherwise that Yoki's just always going to be able to lead the front line, and immediately after, Zeus follows with lightning. It's like, it's the thunder going before the lightning in this case. The Spearbreaker charging in just sets up resolution to just keep spamming out these spells. He's building Bloodstone charges. He's going to have insane damage soon. Already does. And it's just, as long as he has Night Stalker and Spearbreaker on the front line, he gets to play the spell equivalent of the Sniper on this Radiant draft.
Tier 1 tower going to fall here in the bottom lane, 18-5 right now. Empire continuing to farm up. They traded Tier 1 for a Tier 1, not too bad. Oh man, Zeus. He's got 11 Bloodstone charges. I didn't realize he actually had Bloodstone before that fight, so he is a happy camper.
Yeah. He's going to have to go for Force Staff next because he is against a Clockwork, but it's still, as soon as he gets that, like, this game is just, I don't know, it's his oyster, it's everything, and
the charge, they're going to be able to bump everyone here. They didn't expect this one. Alliance, good set of cogs there from Nikwa trying to zone out the rest of Empire, but they're going to come in no matter what you think. Sure, you're taking out the Spirit Breaker, but Ake is the return. Finally, Silent is going to be able to get the kill on Nikwa. Loda trying to get out, but with the Purification, Pycat stuck inside the pit. He's going to battle out as best as he can. Loda's actually going to come back in, hits the two-man stun, lightning bolt. Glimpse actually goes out. The lightning bolt finishes him off. Nikwa buys back, comes in, finishes off the disruptor. More buybacks. Empire actually trapped inside the river, but can Alliance get here in time? The Cogs pushes back the rest of Empire. They're low HP. Loda needs to get here, but Silent has already killed the Cogs, and Empire will be able to get out Loda without a Blink Dagger. And this is what happens when you run the Slardar and you don't actually win the early game. You can't actually get these early kills. He has no item progression.
I mean, they're turning it into a GG Roche fight. Like, they're all buying back for this one fight. And they're saying, if we don't get anything out of this, then we're not gonna even keep going. I think they were really kind of all-inning on this Roche Roche, and if they get it, they'll keep going, and if they don't, then it might as well be GG. The suicide from the Zeus, he instantly respawns. He still has 10 Bloodstone charges after the death, and there's that ult. Oh my
And now
God.
Alliance, I mean, that was such a
Just
good
too
bait
early.
out from Resolution. Knowing that he had enough charges to instantly be back, he's like, whatever, I'll just deny myself. You blew an ultimate for me. And Loda gets bumped around a little bit. The purification goes out, but the nuke damage is just so much. Now the right clicks, get him, Resolution. Rawr! Little Dwarf is going to be stunned up, but they do catch the Priest. Omni Knight's going to go down. Meanwhile, Resolution keeps on going, but perhaps a bit too deep, as now he's going to be hit by the hook shot, bounce back. Oh my god, 25 HP. Pycat's going to be the target here. Yoki trying to go for that kill, but Loda not good enough. The Disruptor manages to claim the last hit on Nikwa, and the rest of Alliance will back themselves up, win all in on the Roshan fight, and are rebuffed. You can't help but feel like that might just be the game right there for Alliance.
I mean, they committed 2 buybacks, one on the Slaughter, one on the Clockwork. They didn't get the Zeus in the end. They got a suicide out of him. They got him down to 1 hit from death, but they couldn't kill this guy. And now he's back up to 12 Bloodstone charges. He's 14 and a half. He's got his 4 staff to get out of hook shots, and I just don't see him actually going down. As long as he just keeps playing the way he's been playing, he can kite them for the next 10 minutes. Like, they're going to have to build so many items to try to actually close distance on this guy and stay on top of him, because right now he's just unstoppable.
26-9, 19 minutes in. The aftermath of that fight, a 17,000 gold lead for Team Empire. 17,000 experience as well. They did feed away the Spirit Breaker, and they might feed away more. Jump in from Nikwa. He's actually committing, but never mind. Backs up. Still, though, the Glimpse is going to be able to pull him back. He no longer has the Repel to protect him, and will be bursted in by Resolution. You want some of me? Resolution takes the wicked 6 spree. 13 Bloodstone charges on him now. And he's got a 4 staff, Blink Dagger, the mobility of the Zeus. I mean, Resolution's positioning has already been super good, but when you include the double mobility items, Resolution, I feel like, is going to be unstoppable. Alliance are trying to set up on this cliff. Resolution calmly walks by. And Alliance, now that the trap is set, they can rotate around, but do they really want to? Look at the rest of Empire. Position very aggressively. Yoki, calm down there, buddy. Jesus, he almost went over the cliff. They're going to go for Resolution now. Ake as well as Loda come in from behind the 4-staff forward. Loda managed to hit the stun, but it looks like Resolution is just going to be so hard to eat through. Meanwhile, Pycat dies inside of the base. Back over to Loda. He gets away. Mystic Flare dropped on Always Want to Fly, but it's not enough to get the kill. Loda will end up dying as Resolution catches up for the Arc Lightning procs. 30-9. Empire. I mean, they're just trouncing Alliance so hard. GG, well played. I mean, I think you called it. That was kind of all in on that Roshan fight. When they couldn't get it, it was an inevitable GG that was going to be forced.
Of these 31 kills, the Zeus has 14 kills and 11 assists. So he has it's just dramatic team fight participation. Yes, some of those were just popping the ulti for the free experience, but in the end, like after that fight, he had another instant respawn on a Bloodstone. He had already accrued all the charges he needed to respawn instantly, and he had a GPM of 566. Like, this is without hand Midas. This is a Blink Bloodstone 4-staff Zeus at 20 minutes into the game, rocking a Bloodstone that's as maxed out as can be, and it's just because Alliance didn't have any control whatsoever. The only lockdown they had was entirely reliant on the Slytherin Crush, which isn't that great against the Spirit Breaker, and their laning phase of their kind of gambit with the Omni Knight and the Clockwork did not pay off in the slightest. In the end, you've got 10 deaths on your Clockwork. He ends the game with Magic Wand and Tranquil Boots. What can you expect him to do against a 4-staff Zeus? Like, absolutely nothing.
Yep, so they just dropped too much of the early game, and Alliance tap out at 21 minutes in. That will now lead then to a 7-7 record in the, 6-8 record in the Dota 2 Champions League, meaning they are tied up with Ninjas and Pajamas as well as Power Rangers tiebreakers cometh to determine who's going to be, what 4 teams are going to be moving on into the playoffs to determine the second team from the European Division who will move on to the Dota 2 Championship League LAN for Season 5. That's it for the night, though, boys. It is only a 2-game series, so Bugattis were saved, Ferraris are kept in their garages, and you all walk away with the same items you bet. Blaze, thanks for joining me, man. Do you have any shout-outs?
Well, I mean, shout out to EU Dota for keeping it interesting. I mean, Alliance was really fun in Game 1, and Empire, I mean, once you saw that Zeus come online with his fully armed and operational battle station, it was such a treat. But that's about it. Of course, shout out to D2CL for hosting an awesome tournament, and I'm looking forward to the finals.
All right, guys, we will take a break here. Well, actually, we're going to close out for the night. Join Dota Red is casting, though. Gigabyte Challenge is going on right now with Durka. If you guys want to join him for that, I know he would love it if you did so. Tomorrow morning, though, a big game. We actually have tomorrow, starting at 7 CEST, we are going to be doing the VP Game Pro League Grand Finals. That is between a best-of-5 between LGD and Vici Gaming. Toby and Blitz are going to be casting that, so be sure to check out Join Dota Red 7 CEST tomorrow. That is a full 11 hours from now. In case you don't know your time zones, we'll also have more ESL 1 matches tomorrow starting at 15:30. We're going to do the Chinese division where we have Newbie facing up against EP, Energy Pacemaker, and then jumping over to the European division to do Navi versus Tinker. So that's the schedule for the next day. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow.